Okay. I've gone live. I don't know if anybody's here yet. Okay. I don't seem to be able to see anything here. Hello? Okay. Okay. Right, who is Mundi? It says your device is not connected. You need to connect your device. I think that's you anyway. Showed somebody, but it says device not connected. Ah, there we go. Let's see if I can add you to the stream. Oh, you disappeared. Wait, it was connected for a little bit. If you're still there, I was connected for a little bit, and then you left the studio. Try to get back in. And if I can check from YouTube how many are actually here. There's one watching now. It says, I don't know if that one is me or somebody else. I'm liking this so far. It looks like it's working pretty good. Ah, there you are. You're back. Okay. Let's add you to the stream.
Yes. Yeah.
Ah,
Oh,
there we
now
go. Hey,
Salam alaikum.
Nico, how are you? Alaikum assalam. Excellent. Thank you for coming. Looks like it's
Alhamdulillah.
working, huh?
It's working. Yes, great. That's really great. It's not my real name, on
Yeah,
YouTube. I
yeah, that's
just,
fine. That's fine.
yeah. How
Doesn't
are
matter.
you?
I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. How have you been?
Happy to hear that. Yes, me too now. The work is finished and I'm at home now.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Good.
But
I was literally just listening to your voice note that you sent. You said you saw the first part
yes,
of the
yes.
video. Here it
The
is.
video was amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. Thank you. It took a lot. It took a lot of editing, that one. I actually recorded
Yeah.
it a long time ago.
Yeah.
Um, and I at first I was just going to do it like some of the other videos, like the one about Qur'anic Islam versus inherited Islam. I was just going to have it
Yeah.
just me talking with still images, but I wanted to give something which people could sort of hold on as not not evidence, but to help, like
Yeah.
indications, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I wanted to put the part about at first it was just going to be the part about the cosmology, about
Mm-hmm,
how
mm-hmm,
there seems to be now some evidence that for our galaxy at least is at the center of the cosmos
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
due to
Yeah.
the cosmic background radiation being aligned around us.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to. So first of all, I thought, okay, let me put that in, and then gradually, I started to decide to, let me put in some other things as well. So it bloomed and it mushroomed into being more
Yeah.
than I thought it was going to be. But alhamdulillah, I think it went okay.
Such a great work. It opens the mind, let's say. Even the
The
near death experiences and things like that, I never got so much into it, and
hmm,
now it really wakened my attention, like I'm
yeah.
interested in knowing more about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm very like you. I mean, I've told you before, I'm very interested in them. I've listened to many accounts now. The thing about it, it's not to just take, because what can happen is somebody can listen to one account, and it might not be it might be a different account, or not so good for them or whatever. But whatever it is, but
Yeah.
it's not about one account. It's about taking the whole picture. If you just take an overview of all of the different accounts all together, there are some
Yeah.
recurring themes in them. There are some very important
Yeah.
recurring themes. Um,
Yes.
and
Like
of
the
course,
light.
there's yeah. So there's a thing where they see a light, or which gives this incredible love, who they either identify as God, and if not God,
Mm.
if some of them are very very religious, like Christian, they will say it was Jesus. Okay,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
point is that you have this divine light. Okay, there's a life
Mm.
review. There's usually a point beyond which they do not go, or they are told
Yeah.
that if you go past this point, you cannot go back. Um, and then there are things where they either see themselves outside of their body, they see themselves,
That's the
and
most
either they,
interesting. So
yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
and either they see some of them at first don't recognize their body as themselves, you know. Only
Yeah.
later they feel a sort of discontent. There's actually a grace scale. If you go to the IAN's website, the International Association for Near-Death Studies,
Mm.
yeah, they've actually made a scale where a gray scale, what's called a gray scale, which is where you ask, it's a scientific scale where to test how strong a phenomenon is experienced by somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they've made
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
a bunch of questions. Yeah, so for example, and depending on your question, you either get the point on your scale is either a 2, a 1, or a 0, something like that. And then they add up the points at the end of it, and that tells you if it's a strong experience or not. So among the questions are these kind of questions. Do you see yourself, your body outside? One of the things, of course, was your experience confirmed, in real
Yeah.
life? So, for example,
Yes.
some will come out their body, and they'll go into sort of the next room, or maybe they're in the hospital or whatever, and then their parents or relatives have to wait downstairs, so they'll go downstairs, and then they will hear their parents or their relatives talk to each other and say certain things, and later on they
Yeah.
confirm that. They say, hey, when I was upstairs in hospital, going through the
They
going through
they say,
treatment.
yeah, they say things that they could not
They
even
couldn't
know.
have known.
But they,
Exactly, couldn't have known. Yeah. Um, so there's
so
that, and then there's a strange thing where a lot of them, after coming back, they seem to have psychic abilities. You know, they seem to have more psychic um,
uh,
like just psychic abilities. So, for example, they will know, like this one, the man who I used in the video, Raymond, his name is, the
yeah,
one with the long hair. He said that after he came back from experience. So, for example, one time he was just in the kitchen, and he heard his father was trying to call somebody in
yeah,
Colorado. In the state of
yeah.
Colorado. And now he was young at the time when he had this experience. It's not shown in the video, but he had the experience very young. Okay, and at that age he didn't know there was some place called Colorado. He didn't know anything about this. Yeah, but he said that when he was talking on when his father was trying to call his friend in Colorado, his friend, um, the friend wasn't there. So the father said, okay, where is he? And he said, Raymond said, I instantly knew clearly in my mind that the guy had gone to Colorado and he had had an accident there and he was in bad shape. He knew that before his
Subhanallah.
father said anything. And then he heard his father saying, what? He went to Colorado? What? And he had an accident? Oh my God, I hope he's okay. That kind of thing. And
That's
so
so wow.
that made him scared. Actually, Raymond said that because he had said that his mother had told him, because he was actually wanting to become a priest. He actually wanted to
Yeah.
grow up and become a priest. He was actually a fundamentalist Christian for a while as well. And his mother, when he came back from this, and he told this experience to his mother said, "This must be the devil," and he just became very scared. And then they took him to their pastor, to their priest, who said, "Yep, that's definitely, because if you can't say that you saw Jesus, then it must be the devil." And he was saying, "No, but
Subhanallah.
the devil, but this thing, what I saw was just pure unconditional love. How could that be the devil?" And the priest said,
They
the priest said to him, "Well, the devil is that good." And he said that just made him so scared. And he sort of
yeah.
he brushed off this experience, and he compartmentalized it in his mind. So he never thought about it again for years and years and years, until one day it just came out when he heard. He said, even because at the time, I don't know if you know the literature about this, but the first person to actually produce a work about this was called um, Dr. Raymond Moody. I've got his book actually. It's called Life After Life, and he was the first
Okay.
person to bring this whole thing into conscious. This idea of, and he actually made the term near-death experiences. He coined the term.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Uh,
And when was this? Is it long
Oh,
time
this was
ago
a
that?
long time ago. Yeah, this is like in the 19. I've got the way. Let me check. When was this published?
Yeah.
1960s or something like that. But it was a long time.
Okay.
It was decades ago, but it
Yeah.
wasn't in the consciousness. So Dr. Raymond, he was the first person to do that. He was the first person to start this, to just write, to compile near-death experiences, and he's the one who first just started talking about, saying what they described as a tunnel going at the end of the tunnel of white light. He was the first. This was the first. This was very, very early, very, very recent. Before then, nobody would talk about these things. Okay, even the people who had the experiences, and some of these people who are now telling their experiences, they had them, decades before Raymond
Yeah.
Moody's book. But because it was just not, it wasn't seamless. Everybody thought it was just them. You know what I mean?
Their
And when
mind.
so many, yeah, it's just them and just their mind. Nobody thought that there were other people who had these same experiences, and so
Yeah, yeah,
everybody
yeah, yeah.
was walking around with the experiences, not speaking about them.
They did not
But
speak
now,
out. Yeah.
yeah, but now, of course, people talk about them and stuff, and you have
Okay.
actual
Yeah.
journals for that. There's the Department of Perceptual Studies in the University of Virginia, which has published a lot of books and amazing books on that. There's a Handbook of Near-Death Studies, brilliant book. There's Beyond Physicalism, an excellent
Hmm.
book as well, and they've got a lot of really good stuff over there. Um,
Really interesting,
so,
brother. If you one time you can send me maybe a link to such a book, because I want to read something about it. I don't know anything. Let's
mm,
say that years back, my mother bought a book and she read
mm,
it, and this talked about one woman
mm.
who remembered, like it's a bit
A
different.
past
It's a bit
life.
different because
Past
yeah,
life
yeah,
experiences.
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I was literally right now, I was discussing with somebody on YouTube, on Reddit, about that, because somebody was asking about that. They were saying, what do you people think of this So there were because somebody put on the Qur'anic website, he put in something about he put a link to a very popular post which now has I don't know how many. I don't know how many. Let me actually share it with you right now. Are you using your phone or are you using a laptop or something? What are you
Yeah,
using?
my phone. Yes, yes.
All right. Okay. So you're probably gonna have to look at this later.
Hmm.
But somebody put in a link to let me see. It was just a post on normal Reddit. Oops. What happened to you? You left. I can't see you in the stream anymore. Yeah. Sorry. I don't know what happened to you there.
Yeah,
You just
sorry,
left for some reason.
I left. Yes, it was not
All right.
accident.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this stream basically this post on Reddit where the question is, parents, what spooky past life memory did your kid utter? And
Oh,
it has 55,000 upvotes and lots of awards and stuff like that. Um,
yeah.
so somebody asked on the Qur'anic website, on the Qur'anic Reddit, he asked, are there any verses in the Quran that could explain this?
Yeah.
And of course, most of the people who replied, well, not most of the people, not many people actually did reply. I think there was only one person who replied and said, no, this is against the Quran and stuff like that. And I actually explained that no, I don't think this is against the Quran, because first of all, look, the Quran when it talks about people who cannot come back to life.
Yeah.
There are some verses where people are pleading, send us back. We all do righteous. No, this is all about the Zalimin, the people who have actually led terrible lives. Okay, those
Yeah,
are the
yeah.
people.
I remember
Yeah,
these verses. Yes, that sent us
yeah,
back, but they cannot send me back.
yeah. But these are all of them. Every one of them is talking about the people who died sinfully, so as leading a sinful life. These are people who
Yeah.
died and they want to go back so they can do more good deeds so they won't be punished, so they won't be sent to hell. No, these are all the
Yeah.
people of hell who have been who their thing has been decided that they've lived their life in such a way. Now they've died. They've seen that the punishment is coming. They say, "No, God, send me back." No, so that only applies to those people. There are no verses which talk about the normal people, the good people, that they will not be sent back. Okay,
Yes.
so it's specific about this. Now I've also, in my explanation to somebody here, let me just see if I can read it for you, because I don't know if I can word it in the same way
Mhm.
spontaneously now. So I've said this is what I wrote. I said I've come to accept that them as true, just like NDEs, and no, they don't contradict the Quran, and the majority die due to violent deaths and murders, and that's one thing that you will see if you go into the literature of past life experiences in children, and the ones which are confirmed. So the child who has said, I used to be an old lady and this happened to me, and then they were able to find who that old lady was or whoever that person was. You often see that the majority of them died violent deaths. Violent deaths. They
Okay.
were murdered or something like that. So I said here, uh, um, they died violent deaths or murder. So if you combine that with certain verses, it means that some of those who are killed or die before completing their time in this world are sent back. Okay. So now if you put it together in terms of wait, let me just keep reading what I wrote and then you can comment. I said, so if they are murdered before their time, okay, or they die before
Yeah.
their time, okay, just like NDEs, they are said they are given. Some of them are said, do you want to go back or you want to stay, right? Now, what if
Yes.
your body cannot take you back anymore? Right? What if your body was killed in such a way that you can't go back to that body? The body is no longer
Yeah.
viable. Okay, what will
Yeah.
happen to them? Well, they still their soul should still have a choice of going back. It isn't a coincidence, is what I'm trying to say. That as soon as the people who are revived are people who are given a choice to go back and they say they want to come back. No, no, no. It's not because it's not arranged that way. Okay, we don't hear about the people who say they don't want to come back, do we? And then these, because we only hear about those who say who are either not given a choice and they are sent back. They're told it's not
Yeah.
your time, you have to go back, or we hear about those who are given a choice and they do come back. we can never know about those who are given a choice and decide not to come back, because of course they
Yeah.
don't come back to tell us. All right.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that if your body is no longer viable and you have a choice to come back, or it's not your time and you have to be sent back, well, you can't be sent back in that body. If your head has been chopped off, you can't.
Yeah.
So
You
what will
can. Yeah.
happen? Yeah, what will happen? You must go to a new body. It must be born again in another child. As another child, something like that. Okay. So I wrote that, and then somebody else said, "Hey, yes, I saw your." So that's what I wrote.
Subhanallah.
Now, when somebody asked me, yeah, but look, for me, it seems like it's only one life, and he says to me, you, because I replied and saying, look, it might not have a basis in the Quran, okay, where the Quran doesn't confirm this, that there are multiple lives or this kind of stuff. It doesn't confirm it, but the Quran is not about everything. It's not about it's not everything has a basis in the Quran. All right,
Yes,
the
like you
Quran, the
said.
Quran is it's for guidance for this. Not, it doesn't have to tell you all the mysteries of the world. Okay,
Yes, and I
it
like.
gives us. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
like I like the thing that you said, that, for example, a nuzul, or how you called it,
Yeah,
that
yeah, Nuzul, yeah,
it only talks about this, but it won't go into detail too much.
yeah, yeah. So
Or that
exactly, paradise is described as a
another,
Nuzul, and that's it. Yeah.
yeah, another thing that really was really interesting to hear, that it makes you ponder more, that you said, that
You're
if
breaking up.
we, like you said something similar, if we have some
Go ahead. Yes.
wise idea or something how it could be in the next world, god
Hmm.
god would have more, his idea is filled with
Yeah,
more
exactly.
wisdom.
Yeah,
So
yeah. His creativity is
the
more
things
like
that we, yeah, makes
it'll be very different from
makes
whatever
sense.
we
Yes.
imagine. Whatever the purpose of God is going to be far greater than we
Yeah.
imagine. And that's why, in these NDEs, these people have left their bodies and they are told the purpose of everything. Okay, they understand it there because they're outside of their
Yeah.
physical bodies. But once you're inside your physical body, you can't
Yes.
understand it in the same way anymore. Okay, we can't understand it
Mhm.
in that way anymore. But anyway, so that's what I said about that. And now somebody else said to me, "Look, aren't you just, um, making your own reality?" I said, "Look, really." I said that
Yeah.
this thing seems to have a basis for reality. At first, when I first started looking into past life, especially, I mean, NDEs, it can be accepted by almost anybody, all Muslims, because there are lots of parallels. Okay, but
Yeah.
past lives, most Muslims will say no, because they are taught traditionally and religiously that you only have one life and the time of your death is decided, and blah blah blah, all this kind of jibbery stuff. The time of your death is not predetermined. Okay, and actually
Really.
there was a discussion about that on Reddit, which I spoke about as well. Somebody was asking about that, and I gave a few answers about that, because the Quran never talks about it, because somebody was asking, okay, if somebody is murdered, how is that the time of death? And I said, look, no, first of all, we talk about dying, but the Quran doesn't talk about just dying. It talks about killed or die, kill or die. Okay, so they are different. There's die, which is a natural death, and that is based on your nature. It's just based on your biology and stuff. You have a natural lifespan. Okay,
Yeah.
and then there's being killed. That's different. Okay, they are not the same. All right.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's not go into that right now. Otherwise, we'd get distracted about that. But the point is, I said that, look, these things, these past life memories in children, just seem to be a fact now. Because at first I was saying no. Okay, when I first started looking into this, I really was creating my reality, because I would ask like one of my friends who I trust, and he would say, no, these can't be true, and this is all just the jinn. These are jinn
Yeah.
telling teaching these children the lives of these people from before,
Mhm.
and so the children get to know the lives of these, and the jinn do that to confuse people and all this, and that just didn't make sense to me at all. I mean, these children, innocent children, we're talking about 3 years old, 2 years old, who are just learning to speak, and they're talking about their past lives, and then when they are around 7 years old, they completely forget about it. So these past life memories, they disappear from the children very quickly. Okay,
Yes.
after 6, 7, they can't remember ever having them. All right.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And of course, the children, they are completely. You can tell that they're completely sincere. Some of them are very distressed. You know, they get very, very sad. They say, I miss my mother." And I said, "But no, I'm here, honey. No, not my other mother from before." They would say things like
Wow.
this.
Imagine a child says something to you like this. You're like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
no, look,
in a horror movie.
yeah, read that linked post on the Qur'anic Reddit, the one with 55,000 upvotes, not on Qur'anic but on Reddit,
Yeah.
and you'll see many people, many parents giving their accounts of their children saying those spooky things. But anyway, the point is that I told them, look, if I were going to be creating my own reality, somebody was
Mm.
saying to me, you're just creating your own reality by
Yeah.
trying to justify this in the Quran, past life
Mhm.
verse. I said, no, look, if I was creating my own reality, I would reject this because my traditional starting point of view was that this can't be true. Okay, because
Yes.
traditionally I'd always grown up saying, no, the life is predetermined, you only have one life, etc. So back then I was creating my own thing, and even now I tell them it's you who's creating your own reality, because you are trying to deny something, okay, which is in the thing. So anyway, the point is, but I said, now everyone, I said here, not everyone, because he asked me, okay, if you think this is true, um, why aren't so for example, but he says this, he says, but reincarnation is a concept in this earth which I cannot come to terms with, because if that was a thing, the family of the prophet who were killed would have to have taken birth again, but no such records exist. So he was saying, okay, if what you're saying is true, and there are people who are murdered unjustly, like the family of the prophet, the righteous people, prophets who were killed before their time, things like this, then these people would be reborn, okay, to complete their time on earth. But basically, I'm replying that, first of all, the time on earth has a purpose. The purpose is for God to know, whether you're going to be of those ahsan amala, the salihun, or not, the good or not. So I said
Yeah.
here, not everyone who is murdered or killed must come back, uh, or who had their lives unjustly taken. Okay,
Mhm.
those who go out to be martyrs, for example, and are killed in the path of God and as witnesses for Him, and are not dead. First of all, they are not dead. They are alive and have no need of coming back. And in
Yeah.
fact, right now, they have a better life. And in the presence of their Lord, they are sustained. Okay. They've
Yeah.
passed this world, okay, and done what they've needed to do and proven themselves before God. Why should God send them back? For example,
Mm.
Hussein, why should he come back? Yes, he was murdered unjustly and maybe before his time, but he did it in the cause of God. He became a martyr. He
Yeah.
fulfilled his life. There's no need for him to come back and be tested more. What more of a test does he need
It
to
might.
show? You know?
Yeah. He already showed complete devotion.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So there's not. So I said, look, if I were to take a guess, I would say it is those who are killed before their time and who it has not become clear whether they are people of Jannah or people of hell. So those people
Okay.
who die too close to 50-50 in terms of their deeds before their time.
Mhm.
So let's say, for example, somebody dies, okay, and he's, even if somebody who dies naturally, according to the time that they had in their life. Let's say
Yes.
somebody dies naturally, but he's sort of like his good. He only has one bad deed more than good deeds. Okay,
Yes.
according to the Quran, this person would go to hell. Right? Now, is that fair?
Mhm. Mhm.
That's that. I don't think that's something that would be part of the justice or mercy of God. That somebody
Yeah.
who's he's bad just by a little bit. So when his deeds are weighed, the good and the bad, the bad are just a little bit more. So the bad goes down, and so he gets sent to hell. No. So people who are too close to the middle, okay, no,
Mhm.
God is sending, is putting us in this earth, and he wants to see who is, some people maybe they need a lot longer to be determined whether they are going to be of the salihun or not. Okay, so
Yeah.
but generally I think it's got to do with the people who are killed before their time, and my guess is people who are killed before their time, and who it's not clear, it hasn't become clear where if they're going to be people of Jannah or not. Okay, the evidence
Mhm,
has
mhm.
not been. They have not. The evidence has not. The hujjah has not been made against them or for them. They have not done enough good so that it's obviously they're going to go to Jannah. Okay, and in which
Mhm.
case they might be given a choice. Do you want to? If you want, you can go back. You fulfilled your purpose, or you can stay. So that was my guess. But definitely, I mean, when I look at, because there's just so much evidence about it now, past life, um, any
Yeah.
NDEs and past lives and children. It kind of I don't see how it can be denied. But the thing about it, so when I looked at it, when I started thinking of it this way, in terms of because I also that would explain why some NDE people are given the choice to come back, but some are not. So the ones who are not completely, we don't they haven't they are not destined for hell and they're not destined for Jannah. Okay, they are
Mhm.
still unclear. They are given the choice to come back. If their bodies are still viable, they will go back into their bodies. If their bodies are not viable, okay, then maybe they will be reborn again, as a child or something to, have another go. All right. Um,
Yeah.
so anyway, but I said, but now, so I said, what before these sort of things, I would have rejected them, but now it seems obvious to me, though, that this is part of reality. Whether I liked it or not, I certainly didn't start liking this at the first, and I saw it through the paradigm of traditional understanding. But now it seems to me it would be almost obvious, given the purpose of why we are here, and that we also have free will, and we can disrupt and interrupt each other's purpose. Right, so
Yes.
we could do that,
So
right? I mean, I could go out right now and just kill somebody right now walking out my window. I can see him. It's not their time to. Or is that a woman? Don't know. It might not be their time to go. God had, given them a. If I go downstairs and I kill them, you know, no, I've disrupted something, right? Okay,
yes.
that person's
Then
not their time. So now let's say this person now, the spirit ascends, okay, and God says to them, it's not your time. So what's going to happen? All right, they have to be sent back. Where are they going to be sent
Mhm.
back? All right, if I've chopped up their head or something,
Yes.
yeah, where are they going to be sent back? Right. So
Yeah.
it's we have this free will. We are able to disrupt things, but God will be achieving His objective in each individual, whether somebody else tries to stop it or not. So that's
Yeah.
how I saw
It
that.
looks. It really. It's so amazing that like I never thought about it like this because now mainstream Islam, if I'm right, would say that even if you go outside and you kill someone, it
Mm.
was
It
there.
was
It,
it
it
was their
actually
time.
was their
No, no,
time.
yeah, exactly. This is part of the inheritance that we have from our tyrants. I know a lot of the time I keep on bringing things back to the Umayyads and things, but the problem is that it's true. They were in charge of this whole ummah for so
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
They created, and the four main things which they implanted into this ummah are this irja, which means to sort of believe that that for a small deed, Allah will give you Jannah, or for a
Yeah.
small deed, Allah will throw you into hell. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Like the
irja.
deed of the well-known deed that I think a woman did. The
Yeah, exactly.
Giving water to a dog and then she entered paradise for
Yeah,
this deed.
exactly. And also conversely, that you can do
Yeah.
so many bad deeds and still enter Jannah, which is
Kill
weird, right?
99. Kill
Yeah,
99 people
kill
and
99 people and you enter Jannah. Exactly. So this is this irja, okay?
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
there's also the jabr, which they implanted in
Mhm.
Ummah, which is that, especially, and this how, especially for the leaders, they were saying, okay, we are the rulers because God decided us to be the rulers. Who are you to judge,
Yeah.
to go against the judgment of God? So they had this kind of thing that, and Hussein, he was killed. Yes, we killed Hussein, but that was part of the decree of God, so we were just fulfilling the decree of God, right? So
It's
that
just an
entered,
apology.
yeah, that entered our deen as well. And then there's tashbih, which entered our deen from them as well. These all Umayyad dogmas which they planted, and tashbih, which is to liken God as as anthropomorphism. So I like him to liken him to his creation. Okay, so they made
Yeah.
God into like, he has hands, he has he has feet, he runs, he's like a bearded youth, all this nonsense. Okay, and the last one
Mhm.
is nasb, which is the hatred or the dislike of the family of the prophet, which is really a form of nifaq. Really, it's a form of hypocrisy. You know,
Really?
yeah, the dislike
Yeah.
of Ali ibn Abi Talib, the family's prophet, is actually, now the reason for that. Okay, and this is something where people get tripped up on it. Yeah, it's not about the dislike of the person. Okay,
Yeah.
if you look at the hypocrisy, because look, the main reason why most peoples of the past, the main reason why they rejected messengers was why? Because they said, how can we follow a messenger who is a bashar like us? He's a human being
Yeah.
like us. Yeah, that's the main illah given in the Quran. Why people
Mhm.
why why people are kafaru. Kafaru
Yeah.
illa an qalu ba'ath Allahu basharan rasula. They rejected it by saying, did God really would God send a bashar as a messenger? Okay, so
Mhm.
now these people, like for example, the Meccans and the Quraysh, they were finally forced because they didn't have a problem with the message in the end. In the end, of course, they weren't stupid. They realized, of course, these idols and these things, they don't help. Blah 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 blah. They knew that. What they
Yeah.
wanted, what they soon wanted was, no, we want this Quran to be revealed on somebody else. Why should it be revealed
Yeah.
on Muhammad? Why on Bani Hashim? Because they had this tribalistic thing, okay, and there was tribal rivalry between Banu Hashim and Quraysh, because Banu Hashim was sort of the cream de la creme, yeah,
Mhm.
really
Mhm.
because of
Mhm.
their individuals, the Prophet's forefathers, his father Abdullah, his grandfather Abdul Muttalib, his great grandfather Hashim, his great great grandfather Abdul Manaf, and Qusay, his great 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 grandfather Qusay was the one who actually sort of founded Mecca and brought all of Quraysh together. These were
Okay.
these were extraordinary men. Okay,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so all of Quraysh, of course, are related to Qusay. Okay, but
Yeah.
then each of his descendants, okay, that's how you get the tribes. Okay, the clans of Quraysh. Okay,
Mhm. Mhm.
so
Mhm.
his first generation children, you had two. There was his firstborn Abd Dar, and there was Abd Manaf. Now Abd Manaf was recognized by all those around him that he was just a superior person. Like he was generous, he was noble, he had much finer qualities than Abd Dar. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so people came around him more, whereas others who are sort of jealous of him, because if somebody is jealous of when you're jealous of somebody, you go to the other person, his rival. You know what I mean?
Ah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
others of who are jealous of Abdul Manaf, they surround themselves around Abdul Dar. Okay, so that's in that generation. The next generation underneath that, you had Hashim. Okay, you had Hashim, and you had Abd Shams. Okay, so Abdul
Mhm.
Manaf's son was Hashim, and Abdul Dar's son was sorry, no, Abdul Manaf had two sons, Hashim and Abdul Manaf. Sorry, and Abd Shams. Okay, now
Yeah.
Hashim and Abd Shams, they were both the sons of Abd Manaf, so they were all honored because of that. Their father, the great man. But between them, Hashim was just a superior person as well. He was just had amazing qualities. Okay, so again, you started to get this divide. It became more and more. So, by eventually, what time of the Prophet, okay, you had the Banu Hashim, okay, who were one clan, and you had the Banu Umayyah, who are another clan, the Banu Makhzum. These were the most important clans in Mecca, right? Now the
Mhm.
Quraysh, they wished that the Quran had been revealed to somebody else other than Muhammad. They didn't want it to be from Banu Hashim. So the rest of Quraysh, who had this jealousy against Banu Hashim, all right, and
Mhm.
also they said, no, لولا أنزل هذا القرآن على رجل من القريتين عظيم, in the Quran it says, if this Quran had only been revealed to a great man from two great cities. They wanted it to be revealed either onto Amr ibn Hisham, who is Abu Jahl, or on
Yeah.
Urwa ibn
Oh.
Mas'ud from Thaqif.
Ah.
Okay.
Abu Jahl. Okay.
Yeah,
That story. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
yeah, Abu Jahl.
Mhm.
They wanted it either revealed to him, or another narration to say Urwa ibn Mas'ud or Walid ibn Mughira. But the point is, they wished it was revealed to somebody. So one of the primary reasons why Quraysh, let me,
Mhm.
somebody just come on, the nationalist Arab song guy.
Mhm.
Sorry, I don't know if he's still on. I need to learn to check the chat. Are
Ah, yeah,
you
yeah. Okay,
still
okay.
there?
No
Because it was
problem.
just you and me for a while. Okay,
Yes.
so I don't even know if he's in there. Oh, you're still there. I'm doing weird chatting now. Anyway,
Mhm.
so what was I saying? I forgot
Like
my
the it should have been. They wanted that it be revealed to
yeah.
the.
So they wanted it to be somebody else. Okay, and so the reason why they rejected, one of the prime reasons why and they said this: we will never accept Muhammad because we were competing with Banu Hashim. Okay, they gave people, they were generous to people, and we became generous to people. They
Yes.
started taking up people's burdens. We took people's burdens. But now
Yeah.
suddenly one of them says that one of them is a prophet. And how are we ever going to become like that? So we will
It
never
would be
accept
like
that.
a victory above them. Like
Yeah. It's like they're not going to concede it just because he is from Banu Hashim. Okay.
yes,
And
yes,
so eventually when they were basically forced to become, they weren't forced to become Muslim, but everybody else had become Muslim. The prophet didn't force them, but
yeah,
they saw the tide turning. They saw where everything was, and so when the prophet conquered Mecca, they became Muslim, but they became hypocrites, of course. So they said the shahada, but they were actually hypocrites. They still had
yeah,
this hatred. They still had this hatred for Banu Hashim. It's this hatred of 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 what God has revealed and where He revealed it. Of not
yes.
being
But
happy that God revealed it. So it's because of this that you have all these hadiths and which talk about not about the hypocrites. Who are the hypocrites? They're the ones who have hatred for the family of the Prophet, because they could not anymore, having declared them Islam, they could not anymore say any hatred towards the Prophet Muhammad.
yeah,
So
yes,
instead, they would say towards the rest of Banu Hashim, and especially
mhm,
the one who was closest to the Prophet and who taught what he taught the most, who was the one who he raised, Ali ibn Abi Talib. Okay,
yeah.
which is why. So that's why you have this hatred. Um, oh, he's still here. Yes, mashallah. Good to see you, nationalist
Mhm.
Arab song archive. I wonder who is that, by the way. From Reddit, nationalist. You can come on, by the way. Join the link, and I'll add you to the stream, and then we can actually talk. And we'll wait for him to come on. So that's why. So that's why you had this. So the hypocrisy is really it's the hatred of the Nasb, sorry. So that's what we were talking about when we started. That that the Banu Umayyah and the Umayyad tyrants, they had these four qualities which they embedded into the Ummah. There's the irja, which I
Yeah,
talked about, the jabr, the tashbih, and also had this nasb, which is this dislike and this hatred for the family of the Prophet and what they were teaching. Okay, so all
yeah,
of those. But we started talking about that when we were talking about this idea of jabr and that they've got the ummah believing that if the sultan kills somebody, then it was their time to go. You know, that was it. That was
yes,
their time to go. No, it wasn't their time to go. You murdered somebody. You murdered
yeah,
somebody. It wasn't God's will. You killed them.
yes. But then they would say, yes, it wasn't God's will, but they say it's a different. There is a different in the final decree of God,
Yeah, I know,
and
but look, all of that, I know what they say. All of that is sophistry. It's sophistry.
yeah,
Look, you look at it at yourself. Just other people are not different from you. Okay, you
yeah,
decide whether you go out and kill somebody or not. All right, it's
yes. And then they would say,
God is not moving you in any way to do anything
yes,
at
it's
all.
my decision. But
Yeah,
this decision, God already know that this would happen, and so he wrote it down.
yeah,
But
but God writing something down doesn't make it happen. Okay, it doesn't make it
yeah,
happen. All right, so
yeah,
it's not God's. This is a what's it called, I forget the words in English, but مغالطة منطقية in Arabic. It's called what's called like a logic problem, a project. It's not a logic thing, which is that the mixing of knowledge and power. Okay,
Yeah.
God's knowledge deals with things as they are. Okay, not
Mm.
it doesn't make things happen. All right, so
Yeah.
God knowing that something happens, He's knowing it as it is, because as it is in the way that you have chosen it. All right, it's not that He wrote it down somewhere. Okay, and then because He wrote it down, so He wrote it down before, and because of that, now you are acting it out. It's not that way
No.
around. Okay, it's
Yeah,
not that way
it's
around
the
at
other
all.
way.
Yeah. So God is writing the knowledge which He knows as it is. So the علم الله يتعامل معك كأنك أنت. It's as you are. Okay. It's
Mhm.
not. It's not that what that It's think about it in terms of because people now think of it almost like a script in a movie. Okay, a
Yeah.
script in a movie, right? So the director writes all of a script. Okay, and the performers go through it. Okay, that's not how it is at all. Okay, it's
Mhm.
rather, it's imagine like you've watched a movie. Okay, and then you write the script. Okay, so there's a movie you've
Mhm.
never seen. Okay, and then you write the script, or something is happening in real life before you, and you write the script for it. You write exactly what happened. Okay, that's closer to how it is.
Oh, so we are the ones who
We
decide
write our
for
own
our.
lives. Yeah, yes. There's the we God does not decide something for you, or write something for you, and then He's going to punish you for what He has written or decided for you. That is
I
just.
watched one video one time that it said that
I'm going to
God
try to.
does write our destiny down. So he writes down, for example, where we will be born, and he writes like who will be our parents and where we will go to school. But in that time, like from the time I was born to the
Mm,
time I go to that school place, I have so many occasions where I can decide for myself, but there are things that you can't decide
that's
because they
true.
just happen.
No, but some of those things which you can't decide, it's not that God decided them, it's somebody else also who had free will decided them.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly. Yes, yes,
right?
yes.
So it's in the end, and it comes like you say, okay, don't decide who your parents are. That's true in terms of your soul, where you'll come down on. Okay,
Mhm.
um, but the parents decided whether they were going to conceive or not. Or
Yeah.
tried to conceive at
Yes.
least.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting.
Right? They decide. Okay. Uh, in the end, many people's decisions are interconnected, and we all influence each other.
Like the rock.
By the way, can you see the ticker?
Um,
Can you see the ticker?
with-
So if you look at if you go on the stream, I don't know what, because you're using your phone, so I'm not sure, but I'm experimenting with the different
yes, I see
features
it.
on
We'll
this.
soon start
Uh,
doing weekly streams.
yes, exactly. So basically one of the things I'm going to be doing. Um, I want to let me see
Cool.
if I can get Ziryab to get on here, because Ziryab. I'm gonna start actually a weekly program.
Cool.
Because
That's great.
but it's mostly it's almost a selfish one, because it's one for me to benefit from as well. Um, I
Yeah.
want to start having. Um, I've called it. I was brainstorming with a friend, and I've decided I'm going to call it something like, what was it? Let me see. Where's my friend? What did we decide on? Tadabburat. So I'm going to call this program sort of a weekly program, Tadabburat, which is contemplation of the Quran, Tadabbur. So I'm
Oh,
going to call it Tadabburat, and with like sort of a headline: "Join the caravan of Quranic contemplation." But basically,
wow.
maybe it's a it's a a it sounded better at the time title. But the point of it is, what I'm going to do is try to have a weekly thing every maybe Saturday, just because Saturday it's weekend where I am and weekend in most of the rest of the world where they have Saturday and Sunday off.
Yes,
So I'll try
very
to do
cool.
this Saturday. I'm free
Mhm.
and many other people are free.
Yeah.
And what I want to have is like opening would be 20 minutes of just me sharing, some insight in the Quran. I mean, I have so many. I don't know if you keep a note taking app, but I have like I use Evernote for my
Yes.
note taking, and I want to start using Obsidian to do what's called build a second brain, which is where you try to link all your thoughts and stuff together. But I have my Evernote, and I have so many folders with so many different little sort of insights and stuff which I've taken from the Quran. Um, in my Tadabbur
I-
folder, I have 43 notes. So
Is this
43 different things.
is this an application which I can download?
Evernote? Yeah,
Yeah.
Evernote is a note-taking app. You can download it on your phone, and you have a desktop app as well. Actually, I can share my screen right now, actually, and show you.
Yeah.
So now gives me a chance to check if my share my screen works.
Mhm.
Okay, share screen. And so I can share my full screen. So I share the full screen. Let me know when you can see it.
Yes. Now I can see it. Yes.
Okay, so if I go down to the bottom of it, this is my
Yeah.
Evernote down here. It's the desktop app is very bad though. It's very clunky, which is why for the desktop, I want to start using Obsidian,
Yeah.
which
Okay.
is
Okay.
also
But
the good thing
this on
about
the
it. It's on your local hard disk, and it's markup files. So
okay.
it's
This is cool.
because
So you
it's
can write
future-proof.
down everything in different. Yeah.
Yes, it's so bad. I can't hear you. So you can call it whatever you want, and then in that notebook you can make different notes on different topics. Okay, so things that you don't want to forget. So Evernote is supposed to be, it was an app originally designed to help you remember everything. Okay, it also has a very good web clipper. So this is the web clipper. So you can go to any website,
Yeah.
clip it, and it will save it onto it. So it will be synced if you have the app, of course, on your phone, which is the main place where it's supposed to be. It will be synced to your phone, but you can just open up a note and write
Yeah.
anything you want. Um, any insights, anything while you're reading a book, for example, you can write then any notes or things that you want to remember from that book. Okay, so it's a way basically of collating your information, collating your
Wow.
what you've read and stuff like that. So, for example, right now, this is my most updated recent note. This note here, which is basically Hassan Farhan's book on Muawiyah, the hadith of Muawiyah as the Fir'aun of this ummah. And so I just take notes as I read it. You know, these are my notes on it. This is another note which I did read. This is a something which I was just doing this morning again. So all of this I just wrote this morning when I was reading
Oh.
Surah Al-A'la. So just insight which I had about that. Which is, it actually comes in. I mean, this is the thing about the Quran. Subhanallah, it just opens up from nowhere. You get there are things which
I
you've never
talked
seen
to.
before, and then suddenly you see it. So here I did this verse in Surah Al-A'la, which says about the people of hell that they will neither
Surah
be alive nor dead.
Al-A'la.
Yeah, where they will be neither alive nor dead. And so it just struck me, oh my God, this is part of sort of the answer of this whole thing of, if it being unjust for people to be in hell. Okay, part of the answer is that the people in hell are not even really alive, and they're not really dead. They're somewhere in between. You know, whereas if you compare it with the other verses which talk about the people of Jannah, it says they are truly alive. That's compared to where we are now, compared to our life right now,
Yes.
they are alive and we are dead. Okay, in the Dar al Akhirah, هي الحيوان. I mean,
Yes.
even this word hayawan, Hayawan literally in Arabic now it means animal. Okay, but it means
Yeah,
so full of
Haiwan. They
life.
say it here.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah. They
say it
sort
a
of do,
lot
but
to people who yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Haiwan.
in its original thing, it's basically hayat means life. Hayawan is like the huge emphatic of that. It's like rahma, rahman. So hayat,
Ah,
hayawan.
yeah,
It's
I
like the huge
understand. Yes,
emphatic
yes,
one.
yes.
So in the next life, it says those who are in Jannah, and you think that life is the real hayawan, it's the real life. Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas conversely, those in hell, they are neither alive nor dead. So they're sort of like in between. So
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
it's so I sort of interpret that as being as if they are almost they are in between existence and non-existence. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Here we are alive. Yeah, here we are alive. And then when somebody's dead, they are dead, right? But
yes.
then when the people are brought back to life and then they go into hell, they go into this place which is in between being dead and being alive. So they are not alive, they are not dead, they're not existing, and they're not existing. Okay.
Subhanallah.
So anyway, so that's so. I mean, look, this is why I keep trying. I mean, I should maybe make a video about people to just tell them, look, just open up the Quran, just read every day, just read a little bit, because it's just amazing, just the things that come. I mean, this Surah Al-A'la, is one of the first surahs you learn when you're little, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's we recite it in every salah. It's recommended to be recited in Salat al-Witr, at the end of the last prayer of the day, the three rakats, which are the last
Yeah.
prayers that you do, sort of as witr. It's recommended you recite Surah Al-A'la in the first rak'ah and Qul Ya Ayyuhal Kafirun in the second. And in the third one, depending if you do that third one separately or together with those two,
Mm-hmm.
you recite Qul Huwallahu Ahad. Okay, but so Surah
Suratul
recites one
Ikhlas.
thing, and I only just noticed that's it. Whereas the people of is recommended to recite in the last rak'ah after witr. But I'm talking about Surah Al-A'la.
Ah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
But anyway, the point
yeah.
is that I have this note taken app where I have a lot of notes. This is for example, the scripts which I've used. Okay. So my perspectives, if you remember that video, Surah Ad-Din, some deleted segments, etc. Actually, there's still some deleted segments which I need, because this whole video which I just did about the end game was
Yeah.
actually supposed to be. It was deleted. It was going to be part of the video of Quranic Islam um, versus the video which is Quranic Islam versus inherited Islam. Because I was going to talk about that the
Yeah.
aim is ibadah, then from ibadah you're supposed to get to taqwa, then from taqwa to shukr, and then I was going to go, okay, then once you've got shukr and once we go into Jannah, what then? So I was going to talk about that stuff about God's end game then, but of course the video Quranic Islam versus inherited Islam was very long anyway. It was almost 2 hours. So I took that section and I put it and decided to make a new video of it. And now I've made that video and it's it's long as well, almost an hour. But anyway, the point is that
Great.
if I can
Great.
do this stream, a weekly stream where I can share just some of these things, my own ones, but also I want people to. So I want. Oh my God, you see how the mobile app is good, but the desktop app is messed up. Where's my Tadabbur? There it is, Quranic Tadabbur. So here
Yeah.
in this notebook, I basically have. So this is the Surah Al-A'la thing which I was telling you about just now, and then I
Yeah.
have just basically insights which I've found in any other verse. So I've got all of these, which I just as I read the Quran, just write them either down here or in other places in my Evernote. Okay,
This is a lot.
and so
You
what
have
I
a
want
lot.
to do. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's this, and there's also in other notebooks. I mean, total number of notes I have is 242
Oh,
in my
yes.
whole,
A lot.
in my whole, yeah, my whole note thing, Evernote. So what I would like to do, let me just remove my sharing screen. I can stop sharing now. Let me stop sharing. So what I would like to do is to have this Somebody's asking, how long will the streams be on average? Um, I'm hoping to do it just an hour altogether. So I would like to do 20 minutes of me just sharing something which I found in the Quran, but it's also really that's why I want to name it, a caravan of Quranic contemplation. I want people to come on, like now, like you've just come on. Um,
Yeah.
I want people to come on and share if they have anything, no matter how small. Just come on and share it. It's not going to be me sort of discussing it with the person. Well, yeah, discussing it with the person, but I'm not going to sort of push back against the idea of contemplation of Quran. So, who am I to say what insight somebody has had in the Quran is invalid? So I don't want to fall into doing that. I would rather just have people come on and just share with me, because I would like to gain more of this. I would like to benefit from this. To share with me any insight into any verse, any surah that they've had in the Quran, just come on and share. Okay.
Really
That's
amazing.
what I'd like to have. So maybe an hour of that. So no, 20
Yeah.
minutes of me sharing something, or however long it takes, and then the rest of the hour is anybody can come on and just share something that they've found in the Quran. And so if I could
Would-
make this into a weekly thing, I think that would be good,
That
because
would be great. Yes. Yes. Yes.
yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, if in one year, a whole year, you get just 2 or 3 people share something which is really pertinent from the Quran, it'll be worth it. It'll be more than worth it, in my opinion.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So anyway, that's the plan. So that's why I'm doing that. Let me try and put on another banner.
Hmm.
Let me try and put on another banner. Let's see. So here, can you see that?
Yes. How
I was
much
just
text
messing.
can I
I
fit
was messing. I was just messing
into
around with
here?
these things. So these are the different
Yes, I
things that you
have.
can put on.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
I can really read it very good.
yeah. Okay. So that now I can hide that. I just want to mess around with this. So
Yeah.
this is another one. So
Okay,
that's
that's
what it looks
100.
like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks good.
Let
Looks
me
good.
let me remove this from being a ticker. Hold on. So the one which is on now is this one. I can hide it.
Yeah. Now
Oh wait,
it's
I can
on
put
off.
this on and then I can. No wait, sorry, wait. Let me edit that and see. I
Mhm.
can make it into a scroll as a ticker, that long one. Let's see if that works. Show that. Yeah, now that comes on long. So this is a
Yes.
maximum of 200 characters. Let me hide
Yes.
that again. Oh, that's pretty good. What I don't like is I can't put on an image unless I pay for the. I have to pay a
Really?
Streamyard costs. Yeah, so I would have liked to be able to put, but I can share my screen, so it's okay. I would have liked to have been able to put on whenever I want. Like now, for example, I can either have you on or off, right? I can even have you. Hold on. I can have just
Yeah.
me, or I can have both of us, or
Both,
I could
yeah.
have, I could just share my background. Sorry, it's not showing here because I don't have a background shown, but I can do all of these
Yeah.
things. Now, one of the things if you're using the paid version is you can just have some images uploaded, and whenever you want, just put them on the screen very quickly, very smoothly. So I'd have
Oh,
liked to have done that, so then I'd be able to show whichever verse of the Quran I want to show. But then
and this
again,
is this is interesting that you can do so much on YouTube. I did not know it. But
well, this
how
is
much?
this is this is using Streamyard. So if you look at this, if you see the top right logo,
It's
I'm using
StreamYard. Yes.
yeah, I'm using this Streamyard, which is what everybody seems to be using. Even though there's another one, which is wait, there's somebody in
But
comments.
how much does it cost? Like the premium version? How much does it?
Well,
How much?
there are two different versions. Hold on, let me just answer nationalist Arab song. Who did it say before you mentioned if I could see the ticker? What does that mean? The ticker is basically at the bottom. Let me turn it on again. Um, so if you can see at the bottom now, that scrolling thing which says we'll soon start weekly discussions. So that's what that means. Um, Sorry, what were you saying? Yeah, so the basic version is what I'm using now, which is free,
Yeah.
and it also has a maximum of 20 hours streaming per
Wow.
month. Okay, so every month you can like right now I've just completed 1 hour and 15 minutes, uh, but it's more than enough. I mean, I'm only going to do one stream a week, so I'm not going to have it like 5 hour streams. So hopefully then finish up the 20 hours.
Yeah.
And the other thing is. What is it? So then there's another payment plan which you have more options, and that's for $15 a month. and then you have another one, I think the Pro, which is even more, and you get more features. But to be honest, I mean, I set up StreamYard because it seems like that's what everybody's using. It seems to be the quickest and easiest. But there's also now there's Melon. There's another one called Melon, and I'm not sure if they force you to have this watermark, and if you can or cannot, um, share images. So maybe I'll try to use Melon eventually as well and see how that goes. But right now, I've set up StreamYard. It looks like it's working fine.
Cool.
So
yeah, it's very good.
I'll
I really like
using
the discussion here. Really,
for the moment. Okay. Nationalist. Yes, brilliant. Yeah. Nationalist Arab Song Archive. I should call you NASA. NASA. No, almost NASA. Right. If you swapped it around, Nationalist Song Arab Archive, then you'd be NASA. But I wanted to ask, who are you on Reddit? If you can type that in, because the other thing I wanted to do is before Ramadan starts, I wanted to invite some of the guys on Reddit, some of the people who tried to go onto that, that answering what's it called, the answering Quranists live stream, that live stream, which was really, I think, was a disservice to the Quran. So I don't want to make it into any kind of internet drama or back and forth with them. So what I want to do, and I spoke to Ziryab about this, to just take some of the points. I mean, he wants to make it into more of like a response. I don't really want to do that as much. I want to just take the points which they've said in that stream, and without referencing who said them and who said what, just discuss them in a stream, just as not as I don't want to say refutation, because the issue with it, okay, is that generally what they say with those guys on that stream say is correct if you narrow Islam down to Salafi Islam. If you narrow it down to Sunni Salafi Islam, yes, you can't be a Salafi or Sunni without the hadiths, okay? But that's not what we want. I mean, people need to know that you can be a full Muslim with just Quran. You can be a complete Muslim, not just a complete Muslim, but reach the highest level of Jannah, be better than many of the Sahaba just with the Quran, and you do not need a single hadith. Even if we had videos of the Prophet, how he prayed, even if we had handwritten, sealed documents of the Prophets having hadiths, even if we had all of that, okay, even if we had all of that, we still, if you just with the Quran alone, you can still be guided. You do not need all of that. The Quran can stand on its own. Okay, it can stand on its own. You don't, so it's not just a question, because part of that stream, a lot of it was also about, why do you reject hadith? Why can't you trust this? Blah, blah. That's the issue. True, hadiths do have an issue, but even if the hadiths were fully documented, preserved, everything, it wouldn't matter. Okay, the Quran, we have to give enough credit to God that He can send a book which will be enough for guidance. I mean, come on, please. So I want to talk about that.
Interesting.
I want to talk about that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like I said, look, Arab nationalists saying yes, it's enough. It's enough to, yes, you can reject every single hadith. It doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter for guidance. But it's not about. It's not the issue of the Quran being enough is not incumbent. It's not decided by the hadith being accurate or not accurate. No, the Quran is by itself it's light. Okay, you do not. It doesn't matter if the hadiths are documented well or not, and it doesn't matter where the Quran has come from. It doesn't matter who transmitted it. All of that is beside the point. Okay, and one of the worst things about the arguments which they use is that they bring, in their attempt to justify hadith, they want to bring the Quran down to the level of hadith as something which requires a sanad, which requires a chain of transmission, it does not require any of that. We look at the Quran and we look at it as it is due to its own internal signs, and we accept it as it is, as guidance from God. Okay.
Yes.
Shaitan could give us the Quran, and if it is as it is, Shaitan could give us the Quran, and we would accept it. Okay. It doesn't matter where it came from. All right. It's about the Quran itself. So anyway, I don't want to go into a rant about that now, we can save that for that. So what I want to do is do a stream before Ramadan, where I'd invite nationalist Arab song if you can come on. I don't know if you are willing or not, but I remember what's his name, Mono. He on that live stream, his name was Abdu, I think, or Abdul or something. The other Reddit guy. I mean, I know he would want to come on. That guy called Sam from UK. I know he would want to come on. He's actually with us on our Telegram group. Yeah, monarch, exactly, monarch. I figured, yeah, monarch means king, right? So, let me see. I can actually show. There we go. Look, I can even show. Yeah, Abdul. Yeah, so I can show people's comments. There you go. Okay, yeah. So, I know he would like to come on. Ziriyab would like to come on to get involved in that discussion. So what I want to do first is maybe prepare a small presentation, just going through some of these points. The issue is that that law where they say that it takes 10 times the effort, an order of magnitude more, to dismiss nonsense as it does to create it. Right. So, I mean, I could end up spending so much of the time just talking about one of the points which they mention, wherever it is, you must accept the Quran because of, you must accept the hadiths because, you accept the Quran and they both come through the same transmissions, which is absolutely wrong. Okay. I mean, if that's the case, we should reject the Quran because your hadith scholars reject hafs, right? So we have to reject the recitation of hafs. But anyway, so we could just that alone, we could get into a lot of that because, one of the issues, of course, as well that the amount, not only do the transmitters of the Quran not overlap always with the transmitters of the Hadith, there's just no comparison in terms of the amount, the sheer volume. Okay, I mean, let somebody. I was going to actually put this challenge to that guy Farid, right? Let him produce a book of a Hadith which come only through the transmitters of the Quran, right? So, for example, Hafs, well, you can't use Hafs because he's rejected, but let's say Shu'bah, okay? Shu'bah from Asim, from Zir, from Ibn Mas'ud, from the Prophet. Give us a hadith on that chain, right? But of course, nobody has ever produced a book of hadiths where all of the people in the chains are the transmitters of the Quran. So there's so much we can go into that. And then there's the issue of the Qibla, which is being completely used wrongly. I think by that brother Jake, who was saying that the Qibla change proves that you need hadith. It's absolutely nonsense, and there's so many reasons to get into that. And in fact, the hadiths, they corrupt those verses completely, right? They take away the complete meaning of those verses. But I don't want to get into that now. And so, each of these points would take so long to get into. So I want to have that stream sometime before Ramadan because I'm worried that I'm going to need water next to me while speaking. But also I want to just have it started before Ramadan so I can get that, I'll probably call it something like answering hadithists or something, as a response to their answering Qur'anists. They titled it that, so I can call it, answering hadithists. I want to probably do it before Ramadan starts because once Ramadan starts, I don't want to think about, rebuttals and back and forth. I would like to start that, that Tadabburat series, caravan of contemplations in the Quran. I'd like to start that during Ramadan. Maybe in Ramadan also I'll be able to do more than one stream during it. Because right now I'm on vacation. That's why I was able to finish that video, and I've still got another time though. Look at that. I've only got another 9 days of vacation. Part of that is going to be Ramadan. Part of that is going to be in Ramadan, so I'll be able to. I'll try to maybe do a few quick impromptu maybe streams on that as well. Anyway, that's
cool.
Yeah, yes. You told me you're Arabian. Let's show that. Here it is. I am Arabian Night on Reddit, by the way, in case you missed it. No, I got that. Thank you. All right, good. I'm glad this is working. This video, by the way, is unlisted, so only those who have the link will be able to see it. You can share the link with whoever you want. I'm probably not going to unlist it. I'll keep it as it is, but that's fine. All right, I think we'll end it there. We've been going on now for about an hour and a half. My God, these streams, they go for a long time. You don't realize how much time. Right?
Yes.
Arabian
Yeah.
Night, do you want to come on? You want to come on for a little bit, say hello, say salam? Or another time, maybe. Anyway, while he's answering, let me try to use, because there's the application which I use, if you notice, let me share my screen.
Mhm.
The application which I use for, oh, you're in class. Okay, no problem. You're in uni, or you're in university, and you've got your headphones listening, and while you're ignoring your ignoring your lecturer. Huh? I wonder what topic it is. It is 8 a.m. in the morning for me. Oh yeah, of course. Probably you're doing online learning as well, aren't you? Oh, you're in the high school. Okay, that's nice. Oh, is it distance learning or are you doing it in school? Yeah, distance learning or yeah, in school. Distance. Yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah, that's no wonder. So there's this. This is the actually this is actually a app which is just from the Microsoft Store. I don't know why it's now playing up like this, but this is just an app which is on the Microsoft Store. That's I like this doing this. Try now sharing. Do you give sharing just the app a go? So let's see. If I do remove, that removes the share. Stop sharing. Okay, that's stopped sharing. I can bring you back. Let me try and do share with just the application. See how that works. Windows application. Nope, I can't see the application. It's not showing. I don't know why it's not showing. All it's showing, I can show tabs at least. So I can share different tabs, which is nice. So I can either share my entire screen or I can share Windows application, but the only Windows application it's showing me is Google Chrome. For some reason, it doesn't want to show this Quran app. Let me see if I can. So let me try. I've got another Quran app, which is I don't use it for the videos, to like take the screenshots for the videos, but I do have another Quran app, which is nice, but it's not as nice as this one. I like this one more. Let's see if the other one will be recognized by StreamYard. And I think the stability on this second one is better. The one which I do, let me see, for the messages to send. Yeah, I don't know, because I'm basically I'm looking at everything that I'm looking at from StreamYard. So I'm not actually on the YouTube. I'm actually on StreamYard where I can see your comments and I can see. So it probably takes a while to filter through. Yeah. All right, let's try and share just this application. Share screen. Application window. Nope, it won't let me. I can only share my whole screen. Let me share my whole screen just so you can see this other Quran app. So look, this is basically, if you can see this right now, this is where I can see things from my end, StreamYard. So that's me. I can remove myself from the stream or put myself back.
Mhm.
There we go.
Yeah.
I removed myself and put myself back in. And I can remove my share screen and I can put that back in just like that. I can remove you as
Yeah.
well, thing, and I can put you back in. All right, but
Yeah.
here's the thing. So you can see things. So that's why the comments, maybe they're slow, because you see the comments come here from YouTube. They come into StreamYard over here. So these are all the comments. And then there's also private comments. Now, tell me if you can see this. this should be only available for people who are in the studio. So here, the only person who should be able to see that salam is me and Mondi.
Yeah, I see it on the
You can see it on the
on the
private
on
chat.
the
On the private chat here, yes.
no one sec. Yes. Now I see it. Yes.
Yeah.
Wait a
Okay.
second.
So this basically you'll be able to see it. The person, whoever is with me, in the stream, will be able to see this comment. Yeah. Okay. You replied. Excellent. Okay. Whereas this are just a
Do you
general
see it
comment.
also?
Yeah, I can. Look, I can show it to you here. So there's your reply. Okay. Whereas these comments are what come from YouTube over here, and when I type, it goes back. So it even says here, look. It says,
great. Yeah.
you can see the YouTube sign means it's coming. This comment is coming from YouTube. If I was streaming to Facebook, which I have no idea how to use Facebook. I remember a long time ago, Facebook used to be simple and easy. Now it just looks like a mess to me. I don't understand what is going on. So I don't use Facebook. But if I wanted, I could stream to Facebook at the same time, both YouTube and Facebook. And anybody who's commenting from Facebook, I would get a symbol here saying Facebook. But anyway, that's that. So the other Quran app is this one.
I don't know. Yes.
I can add. I think I add the translation here. Yeah, I mean it's nice, but I personally like the other one more.
Yeah, exactly. True.
I think it has a dark theme as well, but the other one is just nice. I like it more. So it's a pity I can't share those applications. I wonder, can I share the Evernote? Let's see if I can open that up again. If I share just Evernote, will that work?
It's a really cool thing.
Yeah. So let me stop sharing and try sharing just my Evernote. I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to try to migrate most of my notes into Obsidian.
Which surah is it?
Sorry?
Let me see if I remember the surah.
No, I can't. I mean, there's the surah of they will not live or die. That's the surah.
This is the... Yeah.
All right. No, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah, the other one is better. The other one is better.
The other one is better. The other one is better. Okay. All right, guys. Look, thanks a lot for coming on. Let me see. Maybe like a month, but I don't know if that is too early in advance. What are you saying here? Let me see. All right. Keep in mind when streaming, not having. Thank you. All right. Yeah, that's cool. But a post on the Reddit with a schedule would be a good idea with times and dates where you plan the streams. I'll probably just make a post on Reddit and say that all are invited to come on the stream. It will be I would just say it will be on Saturdays, and the time, and it will be scheduled from my YouTube. So it will be scheduled like a day in advance, so everybody will see it, and then everybody can set the reminder for it and come on whenever they want.
Cool.
But yeah, yes. I'm just I want to have a regular day and time rather than a schedule. So just a day and time.
Great.
All right. Okay. So, all right, guys. Look, it's been awesome, as they say. I think we should end it there. We've been going on for a long time, but thanks a lot so much for coming on and helping me test it out. And thanks again for that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. We'll let Nationalist Arabs get back to focusing on his lessons, huh? People do anything that they can to get out of school, right?
Yeah.
What subject were you supposed to be studying right now, by the way?
Me?
I bet I'm asking him because he's currently in his lessons, right?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what subject he's supposed to be studying.
Yeah.
Anyway, it looks like there's a delay in the typing. I'll wait a little bit, see if it comes. Precision machine. My God. So engineering sort of stuff. All right. That's pretty good. That's fine.
Cool.
All right, guys. So look, I'm going to end this now. I think that if I just click here, end broadcast, it will end it. Thanks a lot again. It says Blueprint blueprint reading and all that. Okay, I see. Thank you. All right, guys. Look, I'm going to end it there. I've still got to go
Thank
and
you.
pray, and I'll see you guys soon. And hopefully, I'm going to speak with Ziryab and see if I can get this the answering hadithist stream, if we can get that done before Ramadan. How many more days left to Ramadan? I think it's like 3 or 4. Not much time at all. But if I can get it done like the day before Ramadan or 2 days before Ramadan, because I want it out of the way before then. But it will be a live thing, public. Everybody will be able to come on, and I will invite. Well, everybody will be able to see the stream, but I will only be inviting a few people to join me in the actual stream like this. All right. In 3 days. Okay. Wow. Not enough time. Well, let's see.
Okay, great.
Let's get it done. Okay. Thank you again. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Bless you
Thank you
all.
very much.
Take care. Take care. Salam.
Yeah, you too.